You see this?
Bloody.
Yeah, that's done.
Oh, that's bad, isn't it?
Here is a BMW N47 engine, a common shared engine between diesel BMW and Mini. It's known for its economy and reliability, but it has a significant flaw that can cause self-detonation and financial losses for owners. Surprisingly, despite only having 72,000 miles, this engine is experiencing severe timing chain slap. Let's take a closer look together and see what we can find.
So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to be checking the state of the timing chain from the top, because as you know, with the Minis and with BMWs as well, you can keep the engine in, but it's going to be very difficult. So what we're going to do is we're going to check the timing chain up top first before we start stripping it and make sure that there is nothing else that's making that horrendous noise. Yeah, we're going to remove the fuel rail, injectors, everything that's on the top, so that we can access the chain and check if there is any play. So let's get on with it. Let's get started.
Working on modern vehicles can be quite a challenge, and I know many of you might think that there are 6 hands working on the car right now, but don't worry, we'll need all of them for later. To get a good look at the timing chain, we start by carefully removing all the components and connectors that are sitting on top of the rocker cover. This includes the injector, fuel rail and leak-off pipe. Once we've got those out of the way, we can finally take off the bolts that are holding the rocker cover securely to the cylinder head. This gives us a much clearer view of the valve train, exposing the upper timing chain, which is the usual breaking point of the timing chain system. At first glance, everything seems to be in perfect order, but then we stumbled upon this little surprise.
Look at this, Darren. You ready? Look at this, John.
You see this?
Bloody.
Oh, my finger is right there.
Bluetooth.
Yeah, that's done. Look at that.
It's a celebrity, Everton 80.
Look,
Michael Jackson.
What cool check.
that's what you can hear. Oh, it's hitting the thingy.
Sitting in the bolt.
Yeah.
Yeah, gee.
Oh my days. It's hitting the bolt.
He's
What is-
driving it as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, she was driving, boy.
This is not looking good for the customer. A broken timing chain usually indicates poor maintenance. However, in this case, it seems like the engine is maintained regularly, as the valve train is not showing any signs of varnishing, nor presence of oil sludge. Like what I've mentioned earlier, the N47 is notorious for jumping out of time due to the timing chain guide failing, or the timing chain tensioner losing oil pressure.
Finished.
Boys, we gotta take the engine out,
Yep.
which means we gotta take the front end off. Everything has to come off. Gearbox, you name it, oil, da 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 da. Everything has to come off. It is what it is. We signed up for it, boys. So let's get started, yeah?
Yep.
That delay was like, no, not doing it, mate.
Well, I'm not looking forward to it either. Minis are the worst if you want to work in the engine bay, because you'll almost certainly need to remove the front bumper or lower the engine to replace hard to reach components. Since we're working on the timing chain for this engine, we'll have to remove the gearbox, which means removing the entire front end of the vehicle. First, we'll remove the front bumper, exposing the front panel. This then exposes the bolts that hold the front panel to the chassis. After removing those bolts, we can finally pull the entire assembly off of the car.
Yep. I'm out.
I'm out.
Slowly does it.
Yeah.
Nice, well done, boys.
The editing might have made it appear as though we simply removed the front panel of the car, but that wasn't the case at all. Removing all these components took us a considerable 2 hours, and we're still not even halfway through the extensive process. We still have to unmount the engine from the chassis and remove the gearbox, which will undoubtedly take additional time. The joys of working on a Mini with its intricate design and numerous components are truly something to experience, aren't they?
Do you guys know what people are going to be saying now?
You didn't have to do that.
Look, from what you can see here, right, what do you think they're going to say?
You stumped me.
Alright, this is what they're going to say.
You let the coolant drip on the floor.
Oh,
You're killing the cats.
guess what? We're going to wipe it. We're going to clean it. Anyway, John.
Yeah.
Anyway, John, you're going to clean it, yeah? Right, even though the front end is off now, there are a few things that we still need to do. So that's including the gear linkage, we're not going to take the gearbox bolt, the mount, and also we have this fuel pipe right here that we have to remove. And oh my god, the exhaust.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we still got to ruin the exhaust as well because what?
I think take it with the gearbox. Don't be easy.
Oh
No. Oh. Take it back. I take it back. I take it back. I take it back. But I take it back. What I mean is, it's not. I didn't mean easier. I misworded that. I mean, it won't take as long.
oh my god,
It's more time saving.
I'm gonna leave it to this. Going well so far as well. But yeah, so we got to remove all the exhaust, the fuel line, and then the mounts. We should be able to pull the engine out, and then we can work on the timing chain, or remove the gearbox and then work on the timing chain. So since he said it now,
It's gonna be hard.
let's try and work this, I guess.
Listen, it's gonna be too.
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. See you later, mate. On your own. Typical, isn't it, John?
Typical.
Someone said it, and he said it again.
Someone said it.
He said it again, bro.
Said it
Again. He's played,
twice in a row.
bro. Because now
Typical.
the ball joint won't come off. Everything else has come off. It's season place. The ball joint is just. And now we're suffering, mate. You know that.
Magic wand.
We're gonna be here until the night. Watch.
Magic wand.
Darren.
Stop picking on me.
Right, Darren. What's the palaver with your E word? What's the palaver then?
No, you've got no muscles.
Personally, I wouldn't have that.
I clumped it, it come down.
Huh?
I clumped it, it fell down.
Oh right. Okay. Okay. All right. I'll blame myself for that. Okay.
My Weetabix this morning.
So I don't know
I
how
have a brand.
It seems like rice is less powerful than Weetabix, I guess.
No one said
Do you know what I mean? What are you doing there, mate?
Just trying to undo the exhaust
Exhaust.
Yeah.
From there.
from the downpipe.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
It comes
It's not
out.
that E word. I'm not saying that E
Yeah.
word anymore. I've
It's
learnt my
accessible, right?
lesson. It's accessible.
Accessible. Yeah, that's
Accessible.
it. That's what? Please, Darren, tell me it's gonna come out.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not saying anything.
This is the problem that we're having. So we need to remove the gearbox, and we also need to access the timing chain, obviously. And you can see this guide pin over here for the guides where this snapped off. We might be able to get away with it because that just looks like it's a pass through where it just sits. No, it doesn't, because that's the bottom one that sits over there. Now we have to remove obviously the mount where we're going to be lifting out from the hook, and then we also got to remove the EGR valve so that we can get access to the timing chain. Now we don't really have anywhere to hook the crane to, because this has got come off, but there's nowhere else. We could potentially do it from the turbo or tie it around the high pressure fuel pumps down there. Ay. This is huge, mate. Why did we take this on?
You did.
Hear me out. To work on the timing chain, we have to keep the engine in the air, but we also need to remove this guide pin, which involves removing this hook. And if we were to remove this hook, it means we cannot keep the engine in the air, which means we cannot work on the timing chain. Anyway, we'll think about that later.
Right, it's about to come out now. We've got the holding alright? There's still a few things that we need to remove. Come and join us. This is getting ridiculous. Should have taken on this job, man. Congrats.
After all that hard work, we have finally separated the engine and gearbox from the chassis. For all the people that's watching this video, if you haven't yet, please consider clicking that subscribe button so we can keep creating content like this for you. Now then, let's see what this engine has got in the pipeline for us.
That was actually harder. There was loads of tiny niggly bits that needed to come off, but we did it. Like what I said from earlier, we have the problem of how are we going to remove the eyelet and also remove the gearbox. That's going to be a bit mad. But yeah, we'll remove the gearbox first. We'll start on that and then balance the engine, put it on the floor, on the sump, and then we're gonna see if we can reposition the eyelet. Fingers crossed we can do that. So let's go and get started. Let's remove the gearbox and everything else around it. Let's go.
Yes, the timing chain is on the gearbox side, which means we will have to remove the clutch and flywheel assembly before we can even get to the timing chain. From a customer's point of view, how much would you pay us for this job? Put it down in the comment section down below.
And the gearbox is off. I can finally explain a little bit better. It's the dilemma that we're having. What John is trying to remove right now is the EGR valve. Behind that, there is a hook where we need to basically hook the engine up so we can move it up in the air, remove the sump, but we cannot do that because there is a guide sitting behind it, which means I will not be able to hang it. I won't be able to support it. I will, yeah, lift it. I will not be able to remove that guide pin over there. So what we're gonna try and do is we're gonna remove the hook and then we're gonna flip it. I'll show you what I mean. Boys, do you know where the rattling noise is coming from? Look at this. Oh. That is the rattle.
Can you stop working for a second? Pay attention to the class.
Sorry.
Okay, rattle, rattle.
That's a rattling we can hear.
Yeah, it's just hitting on the guide pin instead of the actual plastic guide. Look at that. Luckily, it didn't jump too long. That's
That's scary, that, isn't it?
yeah, mate. It could pop any time, mate. Literally, look. That's mad. Oh my god. Oh. It's twisting now as well. Look,
Lifting off.
yeah, it's lifting. It's literally like, oh my days. This is what we did. You can see it there. We just flipped it, hanging it on this, and then obviously there's force going through that as well. Trying to rotate in that direction now. So that should hold, Darren.
Yeah.
Should hold. Now next thing is we're gonna be removing the flywheel and the clutch kit as well. We're gonna be renewing the clutch as well. Yeah, let's get timing up, man. Let's remove this because I don't want to be here late. And obviously to time this engine up, we're gonna need our timing tool. So this is the timing tool kit we've got from Neilsen Tools. So this is the camshaft locking tool. Here's your crankshaft, well, crankshaft and fuel pump locking tool this is. And then this is the crankshaft locking tool. It comes with the whole thing, to be fair. We also have the tool to remove the high pressure fuel pump right here, and this is when you want to turn the crank. This one here. But we should be able to do it by hand because there is no compression in there because the injector is out. Let's go and time it up. And to our horror, we found that this engine might be a scrap. Here's a BMW N47 engine. You can see that's all locked up. That flywheel's not moving anywhere. Chain. Well, there is no slack on that just yet because it's in the right place. But if you have a look, the timing is completely out. It's not even gonna go in. No matter what you do, you force it, it's not gonna go in. That's out. Now I'm afraid there might be damage on the valves. We don't know. So we briefed our customer on what we found and gave her our advice. The engine is out tight.
Okay.
So let's just say that heartbeat is not normal.
Okay.
You can see I'll be able to rotate this without anything happening at the top.
Yeah, sure.
You see that?
Yeah.
They should be rotating at the same time.
Okay.
Now, we can retime it. However, there is a chance that there is already internal damage on the head where the piston kissed the valve and you might be getting check engine light, lack of power, and stuff like that.
Okay, sure.
Obviously, we want to let you know before we start doing it because I don't want you panicking and be like, oh, they destroyed my car.
No, sure, of course. If there's already play there, then you'd be out. That's good that you'll stand for. So what does this mean then? So if we replace the timing chain and everything else, is that just so you're saying that check engine light could come on at some point because of
Fire, it can run rough.
Sure.
Yeah, lack of power.
So if that does happen, how is that? Is that fixed? Is that new engine?
Well, yeah, I have a new head. Well,
Big job.
Yeah.
And then the other option.
Is take the head off. We'd have to check the valve damage.
Okay.
If there isn't any valve damage, right?
Yeah.
But we do have to have the head skin.
Sure.
You have to have new head gasket.
Okay.
And then obviously the timing chain and they'll start at the same time.
Would it be okay if you guys give me 3 options and prices? I think that'll make it a bit easier for me to choose.
Yeah.
As you heard in that conversation, we have given the owner, no, not art. We have given the owner 3 choices. Well, there's another choice actually. She can just sell it to me. But those are the choices at the moment. Yeah, there is a possibility that this engine, right, will drop a valve when we put it on time. Because as you heard, she said that she's already struggling to start it when the rattling started. So yeah, we're just gonna wait for our suppliers and see who's gonna get back to us first, which one's best option, cheaper option for her, and we'll go from there. Realistically, the cheaper option is she sells it to me. That's cheaper option, right? But let's not talk about it. Let's wait for a decision. So we gave her 3 options. 1, renew the cylinder head and valve train. 2. Retime and hope for the best. 3. Brand new second-hand engine. However, all 3 seems to break the bank, so I decided to give her the 4th option. Scrap the car to us and call it a day. Now, if you want to find out what she decided to do with her vehicle, please make sure to click that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, and we will see you on the next one. Peace!